We are back. The homeless services nonprofit Project Renewal has been transforming lives through many innovative ways, which now includes a different kind of social enterprise that really defines giving back. And with us to talk about it, Barbara Hughes, Director of Project Renewal's City Beat Kitchens, and Richard Ralph, who is the Training and Quality Control Manager for City Beat Kitchens. Good morning to both of you. And first question, Barbara, I get to ask you. Tell me, when did you all get formed?
Project Renewal has been around over 50 years. And our mission is to renew people's lives. Our specialty is jobs. Richard and I do the job part of it. We've had a training program that was established in 1995. I'm proud to say that today we are enrolling our 110th class in our culinary training program. We've graduated thousands of people, and I think of all the things at Project Renewal, I'm the most proud of that.
So Richard, tell us about the culinary training program.
The culinary training program is a 6-month program where those that have adverse backgrounds are able to apply and get training in the culinary field, which is, I am a graduate of the class myself. I am a veteran. Unfortunately, I was incarcerated due to circumstances that came up in my life where I was just in a dark period of my life, and I made some really disturbing and poor choices and paid for them. But Project Renewal was the bright light at the end of the tunnel that allowed me to renew myself, and I was able to join the class in a field that I never thought I would even pursue, which was culinary, and it gave me 6 months training, 3 months training, 3 months internship, where you get to explore the field of culinary and then venture out and make a career out of it.
All right, so let's unpack that. What degree of skill did you have as far as culinary before you took the classes, and what did you learn in the classes?
Well, before the class, I probably would burn water. But after the classes, it became art for me, where I was proud to be able to create things that I've never created before on a stove. Different dishes, chicken dishes, things that you would see in the store where it's quick fixes, I was able to make from scratch. And I surprised myself in a sense, and then I was able to make those dishes for my family and see the smiles on their faces. And then once I realized that I can do something like that, Project Renewal allowed me to actually bring a service to the community where I was able to cook food for the homeless shelters, and that just brought pride to myself again, the same pride that I could relate to serving my country. And I was bringing it back to community, allowing myself to renew myself in a sense, and I feel that the assistance of Project Renewal, the assistance of the culinary program, would give that to others who have walked the path that I've walked. Anyone's allowed to join the class.
How do you connect with community members that you're trying to help, similar to circumstance like Richard?
Well, years ago, we had to go out and sell ourselves and tell people that we exist. We have many, many nonprofit partners at this point who know about us. We're always going to new places to talk about what we do, but often the phone rings on our end and says, I have somebody for your culinary program, can we enroll them? Being around 30 plus years has really helped our reputation, and as I said, class 110, we're doing something right, and we're going to continue to do it.
So Barbara, let me ask you this. Given when you were looking at a field to introduce to some, present, to people, how did you settle on culinary?
We settled on culinary because they're jobs. There are always going to be jobs. There are jobs today, many more than there are people to fill them. And that's really how we settled on it. And I was hired out of the restaurant industry in the city to create the program. At the time, there weren't a lot of training programs in the city, and there was certainly none doing culinary training where you were offered something that you didn't have to pay for. The schools that did exist at the time were much too expensive for anyone to explore.
Walk us through the process, Barb.
It's a 6-month training. There's 3 months in our commercial kitchen with our chef, and then a 3-month internship with partnerships in the city with restaurants, some catering businesses, some other nonprofits, and it really depends on the person's ability and what they can do, when we'll match them up with the right internship.
Now, is the training taking place, and Rich can maybe hop in on this if he wants, at your facility, or do the participants in the program, the trainees, if you will, go to a restaurant or a kitchen that's set up like a classroom? Like, just talk to us about the setting where you're learning the skill.
The 3-month period where they do go to classroom settings in our buildings here in Manhattan, 80th 3rd Street, in one of the homeless shelters. They actually go there and learn under one of our head chefs there. And then we send them out to internships where they can be with us in Project Renewal, or it can be with one of our affiliates that we reach out to and say, hey, we have a student that's a transition into the internship and really feel he or she would be a good fit for your location. And have had people do really well in that transition and go out to do bigger and better things with us and with other companies.
Richard expressed how he felt giving back to, the community. He likened it to his time when he was protecting our freedoms. Let me ask you, since you run the program, how does it make you feel when you hear about stories and see graduates or alumni, of the program now becoming a part, and actually putting the skills to use?
It's really exciting. And Richard's a perfect example of how we don't want to just train people and get them jobs. We want to inspire them to have a career in this industry so they can make more money, for many people to finally get out of poverty. And I'm really, really proud of that. And we're making a small difference. There have to be a lot of more people doing that, but I feel like we are making a difference and putting people to work. When people finally graduate from our program, and it's not easy, it's 6 months, you got to stand on your feet, you got to work hard, you got to show up. The graduation, you've got to produce, and the graduation rate, if somebody finishes, is high, and they're going to get a job, and we're going to help them and support them to keep that job.
Let me ask you, Richard, before you go, what is your go-to dish?
I love stuffed chicken, cracked pepper stuffed chicken. I love making that, and I always put it with a side of rice and broccoli. That's my favorite dish to make.
He's fancy. We'll take that. Nice to meet both of you. Stay right there. That is it for us today, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. For all of us here at Fox 5, I'm Antoine Lewis. We'll see you next time for more Street Talk. And as always, thanks for the company.